Hey guys, I wanted to make another video. I just wanted to talk about I don't know, I was at a coffee shop today, and then I was just sitting by myself, and then a couple people were talking, and then like, I'm not sure if it's because of my PTSD or all the stuff I've went through or whatever, but like when people converse and they talk, they get really not just into it, but it seems as if they sound really sure of what they're talking about. They're not egotistical. They're not narcissistic. And I'm only saying that because I know how I am. You know, uh, if I'm hanging out with somebody, you know, I can kind of, how can I put it? Like, I knowingly can feel like up here that I am egotistical. When I'm, because I can keep myself amused really well. Um, and if I'm around people, it's when that narcissism kind of a feeling in your head, thinking that you're better than people and stuff. Sometimes it comes out, you know, and it's like I have these different characters, kind of, not so much, but um, it seems like my guard's more up. I'm not as vulnerable, I guess. I mean, I'll try to give you an example. It's hard to when I'm not with someone and you're not seeing it firsthand. But like, if somebody, I mean, even someone that I'm just close friends with, so it's like I can just you know, like, they'll ask how I'm doing. I'm like, you know, like, I'm just, then I'm starting to stutter trying to do it. Um, you know, um, I'll say something like, I'm doing pretty good. See, no, it's not like that. It's more of like giddiness, and um, it's not sarcastic. It's just, I can just tell that the way I'm talking and how I'm feeling, it's not really connecting, you know, because I come off trying to be, all together and happy and whatever. But it's like I can feel the narcissism, you know. But it feels like it's just, it's like in my head, not that what it is fake. It's just, even when I used to work at a convenience store and I would have to greet people all the time and stuff like that. Um, it's like I was putting on a mask or just putting on an act, you know, and like you're not connected with how you're actually saying that you are, but you want them to know. And then, I try to come across as just, like I said, like really happy and charming, but I can feel the narcissistic traits of how that is, because it feels like it's kind of like a high, kind of, you know. And so the only reason I'm talking about that was because people that I heard, like, and it's more people than not, like, I was at a coffee shop, and then I was sitting alone, and then people were behind me, and these two girls were just talking, and the way that they talked, now, like, they just seemed like, they had a, like, I can't speak about their life, but I can tell you what I saw or what I heard, you know, is like most people, they just, when they talk, you can hear the compassion, you can hear the emotions, you can hear, it just, to me, it seems like confidence too. It seems like they're just so sure of what they're saying, and like they're totally in that moment, you know. And I know how I am when I talk and what my experience is, and I can just tell how different it is from a lot of other people's, you know. So it's just, like they'd be talking with very expressive, and it's not the opinions, it's not the person, it's not the personal views on things. It's just how they're carrying their tones of voice and how they're interested in what someone else is saying, you know. And they're not always interrupting. They're not always um, trying to change the subject to talk about what they want, and like they talk really like bubbly too, you know, like, oh, I was with my dad, and then, but it's not all dramatic like that, you know. It just, I'm trying to, like, I don't know how to put it exactly. I'm just simply wondering what my issues are, like why, to say the least. Like, how come I have to be so narcissistic? And I try to listen to what other people say. If I'm interested in someone, I can do that for a while and kind of just trick myself and do it. So I know I can do it, but once I get to know the person and my personality comes out, to where I'm not always having to act in front of them to make them like me at first, because I still am nice. It's just I can't help that narcissistic uh, side of me that just comes out after I get comfortable, you know. And it doesn't mean I'm not being genuine. Um, it's just I've noticed it a lot, and it's like you can tell my guard's up, and then I don't try to get my feelings involved, even though that's hard to do because they are always involved because I get hurt easily. Um, yeah, it bothers me because I wish I could feel what that would be like to, you know, to have like a level head like that, and to not, to not be so, in your head like that, and when I hear a lot of other people just converse, you know, and it's like you can tell that they just grew up in a good family, you know, just just because I know so much about myself and how my views are and my experiences that when I see someone else, and they're talking in a place of just from their heart and whatever, and you know, they really care about what you're talking about, and then you know they have boundaries and all of that. It's hard to explain it. I mean, I'm sure people know what I'm saying. It's just like I can just pick up how they're talking, and based off of how they talk, it says a lot about them. You know, like I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, I've been around a lot of toxic people my whole life, so my upbringing and everything like that, you know, a lot of people tend to talk like their parents, or they talk how they were raised, and like my mother was just, crazy because all she did was lie. All she did was manipulate people, to get what she wanted, and all she did was do drugs, and you know, um, didn't have any good boundaries with like anything. Even the way that she disciplined, the way that she would scream and yell, and just, she just did so much damaging things. I mean, I turned out a lot better than most people probably would. You know, I'm not like a violent person. I'm not, anything like that. Like, I don't think that the world owes me anything. I don't think that I have to take revenge to get, you know, happiness. It's just, the innocence that was taken from me, from just being, sexually assaulted by my father, and, just like other things I've gone through, um, like, I think that's what it is. I think because the innocence was taken, that my confidence is also very low, and just everything like that, you know, it's portraying a very unbalanced, experience, based off of, how I see other people communicate and experience. Like, I can't see someone's experience in the world, but you can tell a lot, like I said, just based off of how someone's talking to you, how you can hear how their emotions are, and that they're connected to with what you're saying. And, you know, other people now that I meet that aren't toxic, that aren't, you know, um, what's the word? I just had the word too a minute ago. Yeah, that have their innocence still with them. Um, because like my experience and like how I live, I just like I still want to be a kid. I mean, I'm 27 years old. I'll be 28 in a few months. And it's just I still want to be a kid in my head. I'm not quite grown up to where I'm comfortable with being an adult, and I want to, But yeah, I know. Like a lot of other people don't want to be either, but it's like, they had their childhoods, they had whatever they had, and their innocence wasn't taken away so fast, you know. That's why I'm trying to experience everything that I didn't, but I still work. I pay bills. I do all the things that I have to do as an adult, But it's just, that transition didn't really stick so well. Plus, I had a late start. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 21. I was on drugs for a few years until I tried to straighten myself out, and I got back on them, and then whatever. Um, and I've come a long way since then. Like, I have a nice car. I have a good job now. So I'm not dis dis not discrediting, but I'm not trying to make all that seem like it's nothing. It's just you can't just this you can't. It's hard to fix it. And I'm not expecting anything to get fixed like that. I just wish I knew what it felt like to have that confidence in that drive that people have, like I don't want to say smart people, but like well educated, like college people or something, like you talk to them, and they're really I mean, I just don't know how to put it. Just like if you talk to me and then you talk to one of those kinds of people, or just even people that have a good, what it is too is they have a good sense of who they are. Like I'm always trying to adapt and trying to change who I am. My personality is kind of that. I don't have that sense of self like they do. So when they talk, that's why they sound so sure of themselves and confident, because they know who they are. They're not trying to be anybody. You know, I don't know who I am, so I'm trying to, you know, act differently. Like I will have different personalities. I mean, not like it's not like it's multiple personality disorder. It's just like I'm talking to you guys like this. Like this is me, real. Like I'm not acting or anything. If I talk to a friend, I'll be more like humorous, more not sarcastic, but more what the hell's the word? Just I'll have that. I'll try to be more upbeat. I'll try to, like, and I smile a lot. I try to be happy a lot and make other people see that. You know, which it's not to say that I'm not. It's just when I'm around other people, like even at work, I'll I'm just like I'm being nice to everybody, and I'm like in a different mindset kind of, I'm not as vulnerable or whatever, and I just and I like to please people, like I don't want to do harm to anybody or anything like that. It's just so I come across as, sorry, like I know I'm repeating myself. I'm just trying to, it's hard for me to um just summarize it in one. That's what I'm trying to do, is just to summarize it all. You know, I'm not cocky at all. It's not that. Just, you have that upbeatness to you, like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like that kind of a thing. Kind of, you know, but I'm fooling myself because that's not really what I'm experiencing on the inside. Like, I don't want to be vulnerable, I guess is what it is. You know, I don't want to share my experience, like how I'm talking now. Like, this is me being real. Like, this is not, like, I don't want to talk to you like this because that's just, like, this is boring. This is not fun. I'm not upbeat. I'm not, whatever. So I mask all that so that I seem more interesting, and it's not always um, disingenuous. It's just a mask at times, but it doesn't mean that I can't, or that I'm not feeling that way to some degree, because I am. But it's only when I'm around the people. When I'm by myself, then I can take off all those filters, all that weight just comes off, and I can relax, Excuse me. See, I'm not sure exactly what any of that could be called. I'm not sure if any of you guys know what I'm really trying to say or talk about, but if anybody does, that's really, really cool. And I hope people can tell me if it's, I'm just not sure of myself, if it's because my innocence was taken, because, of whatever. But I'm just wondering, like, why do I have to just keep all these tabs open like that, and just be so afraid to be myself. You know what I mean? Because I think that's what it is. I think that people won't like me, unless I'm just being upbeat and happy and all of that kind of a thing. But I mean, I know I have PTSD. I have trauma that just it would, that you can't heal. There's like brain damage done from trauma that you just, it's like you just can't undo it. You know, especially when you're really young like that, and your brain gets reshaped, and it makes all these connections and all that, and like you can't really fix that. So when I see people, and they're just conversing, and you just, like, you can hear that vibrance in them, their life, in their spirit, like, you just, you know like, I'm glad, people are grounded like that. I'm too too unsure. You know, that's what it is. But yeah, all right, guys. If anybody could just, I guess, give me a little bit more insight, that would be really nice. I'll also talk to my therapist about it too. She's been away for a few weeks, so I haven't really seen her. But yeah, all right, guys. I'll talk to you again. Thank you.